Morning and welcome to the next podcast of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. It's only going to be a fairly short one for me today because following on will be James Merchant's lovely video, about 15 minutes long, of just some of his brilliant ceramics collection he's got in Melbourne there. Sent that over a couple of weeks ago, so time for a viewing. So I hope you enjoy that. It should be quite an entertaining one for you and a bit of an eye-opener. So anyway, I thought what I'd do today is just obviously go through a couple of bits that turned up this week, which are this nice Kent County Cricket Club signature sheet for the Doug Wright benefit year, which was 1950. The sniffer found out it was 1950, but he also had one in 1957, so he was a lucky boy. Don't know how much he made on those benefit years, but it was quite good, I would have thought. And then eventually, from Australia, turned up this lovely photograph, original photograph of New South Wales side. Bill Brown there, what else we got there? Bertie Oldfield, Fingleton, some good names there. And the McGilvray as well down here. The other names are Rowe, Marks, Bill, Theek, Hill, Chivers. That's the back row, and the front row is Horsfield, Simmons, Brown, Oldfield, Fingleton and McGilvray. Fortunately they're written on the back here, so I know where they are. And it's a Melba Studios, 302 Pitt Street, Sydney. So that's got a nice original photograph there, and it's New South Wales side against South Australia in 1934. New South Wales won by an innings and 158 runs, so a bit of history there. So anyway, I thought as soon as we were going into the next Ashes series, probably 9 or 10 days away, just do a couple of bits and pieces in the collection on the Ashes. So there's a replica Ashes here behind me today, which is a genuine replica from the Lords Museum. Got the Lords on the bottom there, so quite happy to have that on there, which is a nice one. And then behind me is, I hope you can see that okay, is a signed 1911-12 MCC side to Australia. It's a little bit of restoration, which I've been planning on doing, but not got round to that. But it's a lovely signed photograph of the boys there. Some rare signatures. Nice one of SF Barnes there, and Paulie, the manager, and Campbell, the scorer, baggage man. That's a nice photograph, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Now the earliest thing in the collection is this rather nice inkwell, which I hope you can see there, which is from the first test match at Lords in 1884. It's got a little quill there as well that goes on there, so that's quite a nice item. That very well, I've never seen another one, so I'll put it up like that without the wells coming out. So quite a nice item there, 1884. I've been wondering whether to restore it or not, but I think it's probably worth just leaving as it is. So quite a nice item there. And that, I've got a little thing here, is a silver plated inkstand by James Deacon and Sons, commissioned by Australia and given to England to celebrate the first ever test match to be played at Lords in 1884. England won the match by an innings and 5 runs. 80 Steele scored 148 for England. The first century in tests at Lords. So that's quite a nice significant thing. So a couple other bits and pieces on the Ashes front. So Royal Worcester plate there, 1953, which is the only plate in that series that was signed by both sides for the coronation year as well. So it's a rather nice plate, that. And whether you know the history of them, there's about 60 each made of the Royal Worcester plates. One was given to each player, a member of the touring parties, and then they had the choice of buying another one, and the rest were out for collectors to have. So pretty rare plates really, that unfortunately don't seem to be holding their value too much these days, but still a nice piece to have in your collection. And then 1953 again was this lovely Ronson table lighter, BS on the back there. Brian Statham's lighter, this one. It's in honour of the Ashes, or regaining the Ashes 1953, as you can see on there, which I think was given by Len Hutton to all the boys. So that's quite a nice Ronson enamelled cigarette lighter. So just to keep the Aussies happy, there's a nice 1938 photograph here. The boys coming over, Australia, quite an official one as well, so that's rather a nice copy there. Nice signatures, a little bit of foxing on it, but it's still perfect signatures on there, so really pleased with that. 1938 boys, Aussies coming over to England, so quite pleased with that. So we can do another one of those next week actually, with the Ashes coming on, so a few more Ashes bits and pieces, so we're all looking forward to that, I'm sure. The new Ashes series doesn't seem to be too much going on at the moment, but I thought it's quite interesting that the new skipper said, oh, it's no one is fallible and all this sort of stuff, and I'm just wondering whether anything's going to come out the woodwork of from his side of the story. But anyway, you never know. So onwards and upwards. Anyway, that's enough for me this week, and I hope you enjoy James Merchant's video. Okay, cheers. See you next week.